Ladies and gentlemen, you literally cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. I just got done live streaming for 7 hours straight. It is 3:41 a.m. here on the East Coast, and I am making this video. Why? Because maybe I'm absolutely psychotic. Maybe I am just all in. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I live streamed for 2.5 hours. I got off the live stream. A Paul George update came out. I got back on the live. I live streamed for 5 hours. I said at the end of the show, as soon as I get off here at 3 a.m., something is going to happen. I get off. I then tweet and I say this. I streamed for 7 hours. I'm cooked. I'm going to bed. I'm guessing he'll sign in the next 20 minutes. And 12 minutes later, we get the breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Philly Take with RB, where we give you the news at any time of the day. It is 3:40 in the morning, and Paul George waited again till the last freaking minute while everybody's sleeping, probably getting up and about to get ready for work. But he finally did it. Paul George has agreed on a 4-year, $212 million contract with the Philadelphia 76ers, aka the Max. That's the most they could have paid him, $53 million per year. George committed in a meeting with the Sixers officials, and he returns to the Eastern Conference to join Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey in pursuit of an NBA title. So the Clippers announced earlier this evening, or yesterday, whatever you want to call it at this point, that they were not going to give him that 4th year on the contract. They brought back Harden on a 2-year deal. And the Magic went and signed KCP. And that's why I said on my stream the entire time, there was no other route. He was coming to Philadelphia unless he wanted to go to the Detroit Pistons, which was not happening. He didn't even have a meeting with them. But the Sixers got it done. And to be honest, look, man, it's time to admit Daryl Morey is cooking. They get Paul George. I know people are going to go over the ledge and say this is an overpay and it's not good, etc. Look at your options out there that are available. I'm not saying this is a perfect option, but for a guy who has been an all-star the last 2 years, a 9-time all-star, comes in, can be a two-way wing, knock down shots. He shot 41% from 3 this last year on 8 attempts per game, average 22, 4, and 5. If he can be the third option with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, that might be your best option out there right now. In addition to that, not only did the Sixers bring Paul George in, but while we were on the stream, the Sixers re-signed Kelly Oubre Jr. on a 2-year, $16.3 million deal. It has a player option for this next season after this one. And Kelly Oubre is back. And based on the math, it seems like they signed him using the room exception, which means that, you know, the Sixers used $53 million on Paul George. They signed Andre Drummond as well, by the way, to be their backup center. They used $5 million on him, and they signed Eric Gordon with a minimum. And by using the exception for Kelly Oubre, it means they're probably going to have around maybe $8, $10, $11 million left in cap space because the exception does not count towards that. So right now, the Sixers have gotten everybody they've wanted. They picked up a vet in Eric Gordon. They picked up their backup center and brought Drummond back. They were able to re-sign Oubre. And I feel like Oubre took a discount here. I feel like there's a team that probably offered him a bit more, probably a 3-year deal, but he decided to go with a 1-on-1 deal, try to hit the market again next year, and then they bring in Paul George to be that third guy with Maxey and Embiid. So right now the Sixers are cooking, ladies and gentlemen. They are lined up. Maybe one more move in terms of, another role player if they can get one, maybe make a trade. We'll see if they waive Paul Reed or if they use him in terms of a trade chip. I don't know what's going to happen now, but the Sixers got their guy. It is official. It is done, ladies and gentlemen. Paul George is coming to the Philadelphia 76ers. And like I said, overall, when I sit back and I think about this move, again, it's not the perfect move. It's not like I would have loved Lauri Markkanen on this team. But as it relates to where the Sixers are at, think about what they did in these past playoffs, right? If Tobias Harris had given them a little bit more, they may win Game 6. They may win the next series. They may go to the conference finals. Think about the last 2 years, 3 years. If they had Paul George, do they get to the conference finals? I mean, PG led the Clippers himself without Kawhi Leonard to the conference finals. And I'm not saying he's the same player. He's not the MVP level Paul George. He's 34 years old. This is definitely a risky signing, but it's the best option you have out there when you look at your alternatives right now, right? You look at all these guys out there that are available. A lot of them have gone off the board. Sure, you may want to go the role player route, but who are you going to get, right? Like, there's not a lot of guys out there. It sucks that the 1 year the Sixers have all this cap space and they have all these draft picks. You know, they just don't have a lot to choose from. So, look, they were able to convince PG. They had to give him the extra year to get him here. I did not like the max originally. Months ago when the offseason started, I said, I would take Paul George. I don't like the max contract, but that extra year is what you had to do to get him to Philadelphia. And I'm surprised, you know, Paul George has made some comments in the last several weeks. He's got his podcast, right, which, you know, is going to have a lot of buzz here in Philly, but I'm surprised he did pack it up and go across the country. It speaks a lot for a guy who's 34, who is from California, has his family go to every game, sit courtside. He was willing to make the sacrifice to come and try to win. And I get it. You know, he's getting paid a lot of money, but he still wants to win. So all the comments about him not wanting to, you know, have a championship and not, you know, go out there and try to compete, I think we can put it to bed because he just made a tough decision to come all the way across the country, start over at 34 with Maxey and Embiid, and try to get this done. NBA free agency is the most chaotic thing ever. Like I said, I cannot believe I stayed up for 7 hours streaming, waiting for this to happen, and I knew as soon as I got off it was going to happen. Shout out to PG for making us wait. He made us wait on his player option. He made us wait on the signing. I don't know what there was to pitch. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. As soon as the Magic signed KCP and the Clippers pretty much announced he was leaving, we knew it was happening. But now we're at the point where it's like, okay, you know, and we got this right here. We got this. Remember this? You know, when Joel Embiid went on TV, maybe they'll get hit for tampering. I don't know. But Joel Embiid literally recruited this guy to the Sixers. He wanted him here. Maybe they talked behind the scenes. But PG obviously had some interest. He's made some comments before about Joel Embiid on his pod. So I'm excited. If Paul George can be a stellar number 3 option, I know it's not perfect. You're going to have to fill this roster out with some other guys. You'll need some production from guys like Ricky Council and some of the draft picks. But if they can get this right, maybe they can finally have the core to get over the top, at least get to the conference finals. Now they can at least compete with the Knicks, the Celtics, etc. You know, they needed some more firepower, especially after those teams made the moves they did. So that's where we're at. We'll see what happens. It is almost 4 a.m. Paul George is a Sixer. Appreciate you all for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts down below. Catch you on the next one. Peace.